so you can have the back end, and I'll take the front end. By the way, the snapping turtle, his name was Sticks. He got his name because people were hitting him with sticks when I got him. The monitor lizard's name is Elizardbeth. Okay, Elizardbeth, just a play on words. The gator's name is Blue because he used to make a sad noise when I first got him. And this is Hernia.
Why is that?
Hernia. When you pick her up, you're going to get a hernia. She's 100 pounds.
She's heavy.
Yeah, she's 100 pounds. So this is a Burmese Python. Many people are used to seeing yellow Burmese Python, which is an albino. So same species, just a different color. It's like, you know, a blonde versus a brunette. It doesn't mean that there's a different creature. Right? Same idea. Snakes produce more fear than all the other animals combined. And usually it's because of one or two things. They believe that the snake is going to bite them and it's going to be venomous and they're going to die. Or they think that the snake, being a big snake, is going to eat them. In both cases, it's a great exaggeration. There are 3,300 different types of snakes. Of 3,300 different types of snakes, 300 are venomous. So we're talking about less than 10%.
Yeah.
Of the 300 that are venomous, only 30 can kill a person. Of the 30 that can kill a person, almost none of them are common where they live. So to get bit by a venomous snake, a dangerous venomous snake, you really have to have some incredibly bad luck. Or you have to be one of these people who handles very venomous snakes with their bare hands. And those are the ones you see on television getting rushed to Venom ER because they handle venomous snakes with their bare hands.
Right.
Which, to be polite, is silly, and to be unpolite is stupid. I mean, you have a very, very dangerous animal, take precautions. Mm-hmm. You know, if this snake were to bite me, it would hurt, I would bleed, but getting bit by a dog is much, much, much worse. Yeah. As far as big snakes eating people, the only people who have ever been eaten by snakes were children, and that was because the snake was a pet, it was abused, it escaped, and it took the first thing that was available. Very often the first thing that's available is the dog, and that happens a lot.
Right.
But humans are not on the menu. So you really need a very, very sick snake to think about eating a human. I mean, if you think, if you can hear that, I'm being given a present by the monitor lizard. So they're not very dangerous to people at all. If you went to Asia looking for Burmese pythons, you went to Africa looking for African rock pythons, or South America looking for anacondas, they're hard to find. You could spend months looking for these animals and not find them. Researchers have trouble finding them. So it's not like it's going to fall out of a tree, you know, and attack you, right? Hernia is actually one of the most calm, patient animals I've ever worked with. I actually had a child bite her. Yeah, I was doing a show and someone was taking care of the back end as you are, and a child walked up behind him and picked up the tail and bit the tail. And the snake didn't retaliate. So, I mean, you know, there's a nice headline for you. A child bites snake. Doesn't happen to all.
Just how does when actually she eats prey? Do they? I mean, I watched on TV before, and I'm not really too with snakes, but I mean, do they actually wrap around a person or something that that will prey on?
Most snakes are constrictors, as opposed to being venomous, right? Most snakes have to kill their food before they swallow it. There are a couple of exceptions. Garter snakes here in New Jersey catch salamanders and fish and frogs. They don't kill them before they swallow them. They eat them whole. They eat them alive, okay? But most snakes are constrictors. The way that they work is the tongue is the best sensing organ of any animal to live on land. It competes with a shark in the water, okay? That's how good it is. So she can tell way before she sees an animal that the animal that's coming is something to eat. Usually they're ambush predators, the pythons. They'll sit under something or in the water. When the animal comes down, the animal's not seeing it, they jump up. The first third of the body is usually what's used in a strike. They curl the body up and then lunge. The lunge of the head from a python is faster than a rattlesnake. It approaches like 75 miles an hour. When they open their mouth is full of teeth. They have not just row up top, row at the bottom as we do, but they have double rows up top. And the bottom row fits into the slot where the two top ones are. So when she bites, she's got an overlapping grip. The teeth are all hooked and backwards. So when she grabs, it sinks into the flesh and the animal can't get away. Then she pulls the animal down, pulls herself to it, wrapping her body around its neck and chest. If you read most books, it says that the snake suffocates the animal, which is not exactly true. Suffocation for most animals would take minutes. And if you watch, I'll untie her later. If you watch, the animal dies very often in just a few seconds. How is this possible? They squeeze so tightly that it increases the blood pressure inside the animal's body. The blood pressure in the brain reaches a fatal state and the animal just drops dead. Then they turn around, they release the animal, they pull their teeth out, they go to the front end and they swallow it whole head first. By swallowing head first, the legs are pushed down along the sides and the animal goes down pretty easily. I have seen snakes eat things backwards. It takes an awful lot longer, but if they're stubborn enough, they'll eat it backwards too.
Hernia here, how when you feed her, how much can she actually eat?
Well, she could probably eat something as big as a 10-pound rabbit, but it requires energy to digest big food. The net result is what you're looking for. So if you think about, I can give her something really big, or I can give her multiple small foods that might weigh the same amount, okay? The multiple small foods, she'll actually get more out of. So usually what I feed her are dead guinea pigs, and she'll take 4, 5, 6 dead guinea pigs at a time instead of taking a big rabbit.
Right.
All right. She wouldn't have no problem with the rabbit, but I just get more out of it doing it by guinea pigs.
Will she grow any larger than this?
Yeah. Reptiles never stop growing. As long as there's food to eat, they continue to grow. And the more food they get to eat, the bigger they get, and the faster they do it. It's most exaggerated when they're young and they grow very quickly. As they get older, they slow down quite a bit. Yeah, so she's about 14 feet now, a little under 100 pounds. I think she's around 13, 14, 15 years old. Since they're rescued, I never know exactly how old they are. But she will get to be probably up into the high 20s, low 30s in terms of years, and another 100 pounds is possible. 300 pounds is actually close to the record.
So close where you can't hold her anymore.
Right, yeah, well I'll need someone just to pick her up off the ground. Yes,
right.
Yes, exactly, yep. I'm trying to get them to learn to drive the van, and then we can talk. I'll just go sit in the back.
Yeah. Well, that's what we have here. It was an amazing time. Bill introduced us 4 amazing animals I haven't been close to before. I thank him for everything he has done. I learned a lot myself. I hope everyone else learned. And now, back to your anchors, Jess and Mike.